everyone, welcome to the Bookover, a little book club where we talk about books, especially the ones that give us book hangovers. I'm Sarah, and with me is Megan.
Hi.
And today we are talking about HoneyTrap by Tate James.
So good. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to talk about this one.
Megan has. She's been asking me to read it. I finally have read it. And she got a lot of text messages from me.
And they were fantastic. I loved it.
Yes. I've been forgetting to do the spoiler alert. We're talking about the book. If you have not read the book, don't want to know about the book, don't listen. Come back to us later.
But if you have read the book, this is a great refresher and great for theorizing and just like so fun in general. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about
yeah. I am proud of myself. I don't know if I read the blurb on this one.
I tried not to read the blurb too. I generally knew what the book was about. Well, not what it was about, but I generally knew, it was going to be like the Guild organization. It's called the Guild. I've read the other series. I know about the Guild. I did not read the blurb either. Glad I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I read Madison Kate.
Yeah.
I didn't read Hades.
Mm-hmm. But luckily these characters were introduced in Madison Kate. So that's what you needed
really
to
feel
read.
Lost or anything. Like it was okay. Yeah. I know it's recommended to read in order, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah.
There was a little with one of the characters, Lucas, in Hades. There was like a little scene, but honestly, you'd be fine if you didn't. Oh, and another character from Hades. I don't want to say what that is. But so there was a couple of things from Hades.
Mentions of characters, and I figured they were from Hades, but they gave enough little background, like, oh, this is so and so, or you know what I mean? So I had enough to know who they were without knowing like their whole story, which is fine.
And it wasn't central to this plot. It was more like for the fans, I think. I think they were just little Easter eggs for the fans, so it didn't ruin the other book, and it wasn't necessary for this book at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I was curious, but I felt okay. I felt like I wasn't missing out. So that's good.
Yeah. I think, especially out of all the series, I think you can read this one and not read read the others later, and you'll be like fine.
Right.
I think Hades and Madison Kate are more interchangeable.
Right. I've kind of felt like I didn't need to know Madison Kate to for anything in this. Like I didn't need it. It was more like a crossover. Like I didn't need. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far. I mean, I don't know the rest of the series. Maybe there's more that comes up. I don't know, but yeah, for sure. So I have to say, I don't know what I have to say, because like I love Dani. She's awesome. She's amazing.
What a great, strong female character that's just so different in the way that she thinks. Yet you still you love her. I love her, but the way she thinks is so like strategic and I don't want to say manipulative. Okay, she's manipulative. It's part of her job.
It's her job. Yeah. So I mean that part, her job part, but then like I love her personal life too, like how she has her her plant,
Stanley.
Stanley.
And Stanley has taken on a following of his own.
Oh yeah,
everyone loves Stanley.
Well, yeah. And I loved Leon. At first I loved Leon, and I loved how he was like following her and like interested in her and like fighting the urge to be around her. And then like when he helped her out, he's like, I want to be there, and like all that stuff. And then when he overheard about Stanley, he's like, who the fuck is Stanley? I loved that, because I was like thinking like us, readers get that, like we know more than you, Leon, and he's a plant,
That is fun. It is fun when the readers know a little bit more than the characters. That's a change of pace.
Yeah. Yes. That's especially for a Tate James book to know something. Yay, we knew about Stanley
before Leon.
But like, so yeah, I was super in love with Leon. But then, okay, so we go through them working together a little bit, and they have that chemistry, Dani and Leon, and he rescues her by like jumping out a window, and she's like trying to figure out how did he get here so fast. I love that, how she's just kind of oblivious to how much he can do.
because he's the tech guy. She thinks, oh, he's just the tech guy. I'm the brawn, he's the brains. Well, they're both the brains, but she thinks that he's like the computer brains and she's like, the spy. But little does she know there's so much more to Leon, and there's more that like, and again, we think we know more than her in that situation. We don't know everything about him. I was surprised by just how much we learned about
the
Leon
end.
by the end.
Yeah. So I was fully in love with Leon. I was rooting for Leon. I was like, Danny and Leon, I liked them working together. I wanted them to push things a little bit further. I understood why they both didn't, but like I was like, oh, we're gonna get there. Yes, yes, yes. And then she gets ultimate, I guess, kidnapped, right? I mean, would be the term taken.
I think she let herself get kidnapped in a way. I think she could have gotten away, but she's like, she is a target.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns into something she doesn't expect. And so she kind of just goes, well, no, she does. No, because she's knocked unconscious. I think at first she was like, I'm going to let myself, like in the like abandoned house scene.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to let myself go with it. I'm going to play innocent. I'm going to deny everything. And she was having fun with it. Yeah. Leon's like on the thing being like, are you doing this right now? That was so great. And then, so she does get knocked out. That she didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And then, so she's kidnapped, but it's totally different than any other kidnapping because she's working the whole time to manipulate them in this scenario as a spy, trying to deny that she's a spy and being tortured and being like, this is child's play. They're not good at torture. This is not torture. He's not doing this right.
Yeah. I love that. I love that she's like, oh, he doesn't know. I mean, she's like, somebody else this might work on, but for me, like, this isn't good enough. Like, it's like, I loved it. I loved it, but that was the only way she was going to survive it, was like being able to tune out the awful music and to do this, and how she had to like turn around to laugh so they couldn't like see. It made me love her so much. Yeah, because she was really playing, and she played them good.
Oh, she played them so good.
But like it killed me at the same time. So like Kai.
Oh my God. I love Kai. I love their relationship. I thought I loved Leon and then I met Kai.
Exactly. I am right there with you.
You were messaging me about Leon and I'm just like, just wait till she meets Kai. I can't wait for those messages.
Yeah. So I mean, we get a little bit of Kai at first before he knocks her out. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. Yeah. But then like, and then we don't see him for a good portion of her being stuck there. And then all of a sudden, he's back and he's like mad because she got like, beat up and drugged and hurt. And then he gets all, alpha protective of her while she's, and then I just had so many, like, I just started like I loved it because like, I know he's who he is and he's not a good person either, but she's not a good person. And I love, like, you can tell there's something there. Like, she is liking being with him. She just is programmed to be like, this is a job, but you can tell that deep down there's more. And he's like letting go and wanting to be with her. And so it was like so good.
It was so good. And she's having to fight her nature. And then even the friendship with Moana, like she even said, like, we could have been friends. Like, she really liked Moana. She wanted the best for Moana. She's like, I hope I don't have to kill her. Yeah. Like, she really liked them, but she is fighting like this programming because we do learn that she was, I think, the test tube baby. She doesn't even know that she was one of these babies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we know for sure yet, but like it's alluded that she is.
Yeah, I think,
why else?
Especially when they say like she can't have kids, like you think she's and then she was put into those orphanages. So and at the very end, the whole reason they want to get rid of her, they're trying to get rid of people from this program. Now that is, I forgot that. So there's something interconnected there with Hades. So maybe that's why I kind of know that she's a test tube. That's something,
Well, they talk about it in this too.
They do.
They do talk about it. And I was wondering, it just clicked. That's why, like Leon's even like trying to figure out why someone's trying to get her killed, because supposedly they haven't done it for a while, the test tube thing. But I'm like, obviously obviously like that. I mean, why else would they, like, she's one of their best. So why would you want to get rid of one of your best? And she's not trying to leave or anything. So it is very questionable.
Because they
So
killed Clean's house. They're covering something up.
mhm.
And there is a little connection to that storyline in Hades that I totally forgot.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't feel lost on it.
It's just the start of that little tidbit of it.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a good portion of the book is her with Kai, I feel like.
I loved that.
I loved it. I loved it. And the fact that she stayed longer than she needed to.
Yeah, because she couldn't bring herself to go.
And then when she finally did leave, it killed me. But I loved how she's like even looked at the gun and she was like, I'm not gonna do it. That says so much right there.
It does. And I think it says a lot to Kai too, because he's not dumb. He knows.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, they had the fake phone, and I loved how mad Leon was about the phone too. Like, and that's why they did it, was to like, you know, someone's gonna waste all this time.
That was the whole reason she had to fulfill her mission. That's like embedded in her. And then like he knew better. So all this time we're seeing her play him. We think, could he be playing her? Like they even talk about it, and then they kind of like fake you out, and you're like, no, he's falling for her. And then boom, yep, they were playing each other, but he didn't want to be. He was hoping it wouldn't come to that. And that confrontation on the bridge, I didn't see that. I didn't see him catching up to her. I pride myself on like figuring things out. I did not. No. I should have saw that coming, but oh my God, that scene was brilliant.
That made me so sad for both of them, because then they flat out almost lied. She lied to him, because you could tell, she could see his heart breaking a little. You could see the disappointment and how he's like, so it was all a lie. And she, even though knew it wasn't all a lie, she said it was. And that I was like, no, don't say that, because I'm just so rooting for them to be together so much, because they would be such a power couple. Right? Like, could you imagine them together? I just love it.
I hope that they run. This is, you know, we'll go back, but I'm gonna say I hope that that's where she goes. I hope she runs to Kai. I hope she joins forces with Kai. I hope, you know, this trilogy leads her to taking down, like, this is my hope, is that it's taking down the guild, and that, you know, she does it with Kai, and that's who she runs to in her time, which we will get to. Sorry, I skipped.
No, it's fine, because like, yeah, with Kai, him and his abandonment problem issues, upset, but then like, I love how he was like trying to get her pregnant.
Oh, I loved that too.
And making him like like, yes, please have his babies. If you could have, like, I'm like, they said that she couldn't, but if she could, please have his babies.
Yeah, I know. Knowing Tate James, she definitely can. Right. That's my thought.
I know, but that'd be so awesome if like, I'm like,
we secretly want it. We secretly want,
you know, a little, see how you're stuck with me.
It's fun coming from a guy. There's just that trope of the guy that just like wants to, like, well, I'm gonna trap you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna trap you.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think, you know, like with Kai, I don't think he would be willing to have a child with somebody if he wasn't in it. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
So, like,
yeah.
Like, it says a lot about him being willing to with her. And the thing is like, what I loved about the end with him, his perspective was like, even though like he's like, now that they know what they were both playing each other, like, he still wants to find her, but he's like, he's not sure what he's gonna do with her. Like, he's not gonna end her, you know. But then here's Leon. So Leon's there for the rescue, right? And then it's just so good. And then they're like, at this moment, finally, he shows where he lives, and then he gets the order to kill her, and he's gonna do it. What, WTF? But that's how these people are programmed. So like, I had to remind myself, I'm like, he's programmed to do these things. Like, he's like, this is how it is. I'm gonna shut off my feelings and do this. After he takes pictures of her, I'm like, dude.
He's like, I want to remember her forever. It's romantic.
And I love, so I'm like, and then of course it ends right there with her waking up, and you're just like,
what's gonna happen.
You know they're full
Well,
blown.
I think they're gonna fight. She's going to escape him. I think it's going to be him fighting his nature. This is what I think. It's gonna be him fighting his nature, like to want her, but also his mission is to kill her. So because that's what he does, and she doesn't know that. Like that's, there's special people that are these like hidden killers that kill their, the people that are they deem that have to be killed from the organization. She doesn't know it, but there's more to him. He's also a member he's like a leader of the guild.
Yeah, he's in the
So
circle
yeah, I did have a feeling that he was in the circle. I did
because
think
he
that
knew more. Yeah.
yeah, it seemed like he had a lot, and he was able to, well, I guess any agent's able to say I don't want to work with this person, but it just seemed like that he was hiding more than just
well, at first I thought he was just really good at being a hacker, but I did know that he somehow had some extra information, and so but when it came out that he was in the circle, because he's still, even as in the circle, people in the circle aren't supposed to know who else is in the circle and stuff. So he definitely knows a lot more than what he should know, which is great. And I like your theory. I'm excited to see Leon do that struggle. And I'm really excited for that confrontation, because at some point they're gonna have to meet again, and he's gonna have to explain himself. Like I want them to make up.
Well, the thing was, it seemed like he was on this mission to find out about this program. Spoiler warning for if you did not read Hades. Can I say something, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, like mute. I'm gonna say mute now, and then I'll put my hand up when you need to unmute if you haven't read Hades. So in Hades, there's a character called Lucas. And they discovered that he was one of these babies, that he was hidden away. And Leon had worked with his sister and made a promise to her and it's talked about in the series, the promise that he made to this woman. So, okay, spoiler done. So he seems very invested.
Yeah.
He seems very invested in this storyline of these test tube babies. What's going on? What's this conspiracy he doesn't know about? So you think that he's on her side. You think he's trying to save her. I mean, he knows someone's trying to kill her. He knows there's like an order, like she's taking these jobs, and he doesn't want her to take these jobs that are basically death sentences.
Yeah.
So he's supporting her, and then all of a sudden, well, I got the kill order, even though I've been supporting him or her. So I'm gonna automatically turn on her, and it's just like you said, the fighting, his programming and stuff. It's just so you just didn't see it coming where he would flip like that,
right?
So I'm imagining like a spy, James Bond, Alias kind of battle between them, like fighting. Like the start of the book is just them fighting each other, like her trying to not die and escape his like isolated oh gosh, so there was this controversy about is it Canada or Alaska, and someone was saying like I don't know, someone thought Alaska was in Canada of where he's located. And now it's got my brain all twisted. Was it Canada or Alaska, Sarah, that his place was in?
Did they say?
Remember? Yeah,
I just remember snow.
There was a whole thing in like one of the groups where people were saying like someone got confused and thought Canada was Alaska or something.
I just remember it was like mountains and snow and was hard to get to.
I think it was Alaska. I think they flew over Canada. Oh my gosh, or did they fly over
I don't
Alaska?
remember. But
oh gosh.
Either way, they're in the middle of nowhere, and it's gonna be hard to get away.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's gonna be able to get a hold of like Carlos. So who's Carlos? Like that's a different storyline, because right, he said that she was doing a job against him or met him on a job. Like that's all Leon could figure out about him. So I'm very curious too on that. Yeah.
So, and especially with how dedicated she is to her job and completing the mission, the fact that they're still friends after that, I'm very curious to get more of that. I think some people think like he might be another love interest. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a menage. I think it's going to stay menage. Could be wrong. They're not labeling, which I love.
I mean, there are other characters that were a part of like her kidnapping that could maybe get in there. Maybe.
Yeah, at first it seemed like there was one guy, and then it turned out he was not very nice, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't see that one coming. I think it's gonna stay. these two guys. The question is it gonna be? I mean, I think that's why it's cool that it's not labeled. Maybe Leon's just gonna be a villain. Maybe he's not going to.
No, I
I
like
don't. I think
Leon
I
too
think it's
much.
gonna
I
be
need him.
Minaj.
Do we know how many
It's a
books it is? Because I know the second book comes out at the
trilogy.
end of March.
And then the next book is already on pre-order. Oh my gosh, what is it? Is it June?
So
I
there's
think it's June.
3
It's a
books.
trilogy, yeah.
Okay. So hopefully, like in book 2, we're getting more. I would love. I like it when like the last book's at least more of the relationship.
Me too. When they're already like established and they're working, they're like together working against a common enemy.
Yeah. So I'm hoping book 2 I have a feeling book 2 is going to be really, really good. I just really need more Kai. So I need her to end up with him.
I feel like she was like working with Lee. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like she's going to run to Kai, like to be protected. You know, I think that's who she might turn to, or maybe not intentionally. I think somehow she's going to end up with Kai again, and it's going to be like her and Kai against Leon for a little bit.
Because Kai's smart and he has all those teams. Like, what if she goes to her? I don't think she would go to her friend because I think she'd be afraid to lead Leon. It's a big mess because now he's been kind of into her world a little bit. You know,
he has more than anybody else. Knows her friend, but I mean, her librarian friend is in the guild technically. She's just doing a different job. So maybe he doesn't have permission to kill her because she's in the guild. So maybe she's safe. Because Leon like seems to abide by the rule. That seems to be like the trend. Like they abide by their own code. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how he's going to justify not killing her. How's she going to forgive him for coming after her? Is she going to brush it off to be like, oh, I totally understand, I would have done the same? Or is she going to be really hurt because she was being vulnerable and let herself finally go there?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. And then I think she's going to step back because she's going to be mad that she let herself be vulnerable. So I think it's going to make her turn really hardcore for a little bit. And then she's going to have like something happen where she's going to have to realize something's going to happen where they're going to realize how horrible the guild is and that she needs to stop playing the thing. And I mean, she already knows they're trying to kill her somehow, right? Or somebody's trying to, but I think something's going to have to happen to get her back to being okay with being vulnerable again. And that's the same thing with Leon. He's going to have to,
realize that she's more important than the guild.
I think he's gonna have a wake-up call. Like as soon as that fight starts, he's gonna get punched in the face and realize he's fucked up. Excuse my French, but
definitely. I'm so curious. Tate is brilliant. I mean, it's so well written. The whole, I mean, I love, it's like, I feel like there's definitely a beginning, middle, and end of like, the beginning is her and Leon like on a mission. It's, I did not see it going. I had no idea it was going to turn into a forced proximity captive romance,
right?
On an island.
Yeah.
I did not see this like guild spy drama turning into that. I was like, what? I love this. This is amazing. And then it turned back into the spy stuff. I mean, it was always the spy stuff, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I just can't wait. I'm so excited. And I want to know Dead Drop. So HoneyTrap, the whole book, she was a honey trap. So the title has meaning. So a dead drop in like spy stuff is when you're dropping off like information to somebody, you're doing like a dead drop or like maybe evidence or something. So I'm curious to how significant the title is going to be, if that's a big part of the story, this dead, well, like at the end it was like HoneyTrap.
Well, because so like she explained at one point, like proof of death, right? After the job, she usually would just take the head because it's hard to take the whole body. So with the dead drop, like Leon needs proof, right? That he got rid of
literal dead drop.
So I'm wondering if like he ends up working with them to figure out a way to fake that she's dead.
To fake her death. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
And show the proof.
And then the third one is called Kill Order. So very interesting.
I'm like, okay, I'm reading too much into these. Now I'm like, my head's.
Well, I mean, I just feel like the way HoneyTrap was, I mean, it really, I mean, the whole book, it's the perfect title. because
It is
she's
a perfect
about.
title. And like, as you know, once that clicked, like what, like I was like,
Yeah,
HoneyTrap, okay, like, but then
but
you
I
read it and
know.
then you're like, oh my gosh,
But
like clearly was trained to use her body. Like she's even said that, like it's my body is a weapon.
mhm,
Like you're just like, oh.
yeah, and I
Wow.
love that. It was kind of like watching a spy thriller James Bondish movie, but reading it, but with romance, but better,
Yeah.
like with plot.
Yeah, it was
Because-
like for me, it was
Mhm.
like because I used to love Alias. So I'm like, it was like Alias like
Yes,
on crack. Like it was
it
amazing.
was.
Yeah.
Well, Alias was, I loved Alias back in the day. That was my jam. It did feel like Alias. It really did.
Mhm. Like I could hear like the like upbeat music.
The doot, doot, doot.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
totally, it totally, yeah. So, I don't know. I loved this one. I don't know if I was
Mhm.
expecting to love it like I did,
I told you would though. I knew
No.
it. I
I know
knew
you
it.
know. That's why I trust in Megan. Like she recommends the book. I'm just gonna read it because it's gonna be good.
Thank you.
But yeah, and I love that. Like just as I'm like reading it and I'm like, oh, Leon this, Leon that. She's like, oh, just wait until you read more. And then now Kai. Mm. I mean, I love
I
Leon
think
too, but Kai's definitely like number one right now for me because I'm mad at Leon.
I'm mad at Leon too. That's why we're mad at the character. And I think we're supposed to be mad. I think
Yeah.
Tate wants us to be mad at Leon.
Yeah.
I think that's like the valid emotion. And we're supposed to be like rooting for Kai right now. And then she's gonna do her Tate James things and twist us all up and surprise us and shock us. And I love that. And it's been a while since she's done like the last trilogy that she's done, I think may have been like Princess Ballad. So it's
I
been like
think
a
so.
while since she's done a trilogy. It's usually like 4 books, or like, Davenport was 6
4.
books and like a novella. So
Yeah. Oh
that'll be
yeah.
interesting to
Gavin.
have this,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be interesting to have the story wrapped up in 3 books. That means we're gonna get a lot of stuff in book 2 because that's the middle book. And they've been pretty, nice, thick books. So it's coming soon. I'm so excited.
I'm
I'm
really
like,
excited. I'm excited that I waited. Like I know you read it
yeah.
earlier on.
I'm on Kate's ARC team, so I read it like
Okay.
early on.
Yeah. No.
Kate was so nice and gifted her ARC team paperback copies before. Like she even gave us the ARC foil covers.
That's
Thank you, Tate
awesome.
James. I love
That's
it.
amazing. That
Yeah.
just really shows how much you're appreciated, So it's like it's
Yeah.
not,
So
it's just here and there now and then, like just little things. I just love that kind of stuff, like even if it's a
yeah.
sticker or
It came with a sticker and a keychain of Stanley too. It was good.
I love
And
it.
yeah, and my cat likes the bow that was wrapped. It was wrapped, so it was, yeah, and it was very, very nice. And it's very nice that she's able to do that kind of thing. And I'm sure that was a costly gift, so that was like such a generous thing. So I guess I read it, in December.
Okay, yeah.
So I am
just read
so
it.
excited. I am so excited that it's like I'm getting the ARC very. By the time this is aired, I will have read the ARC.
Awesome. I'm jealous. I signed up for it, but I doubt I got it because I'm not my Instagram account. My Bookstagram isn't. I've neglected it.
Oh, well,
So,
it
yeah.
happens.
It happens. I like talking about my books on the podcast more, I guess.
It's so much fun to talk about the books. It's just, I don't know, you only get so many words on Instagram.
Yeah, I get to the point where I'm like, I don't have enough space, so then I like it ends up always being like, I loved it. Can't wait for more. And it's like, well, how many times do you guys want to hear that?
And with the books you really love, it's harder to write reviews for. I think we've talked about this before, where it's like those books that are just like extra special, you want to like do it justice in the review, and you just like, it makes it so much harder to write the review.
Yeah, I have to wait a while sometimes, but
The process.
to process that, or it ends up being a jumbled, like I just finished this book and I can't stop thinking about it, and like I want to talk about this and that, but I can't because I don't want to give you spoilers. And so basically I love this book.
Yeah. It's like, I love this book, or here's my ramble. I definitely had a book that I, for the first time, I like Amazon told me my review was too long. I didn't know you could have a review on Amazon too long.
I didn't know that
That
either.
happened.
Yeah.
I'm glad Amazon told me, because I cleaned up that review and I realized it was a mess, because I wrote it right after the book,
Mm.
and it was just a rambly mess of just like, oh my God, all these things happened. And it was no. Yeah, have to tone it back. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
basically, Honey Trap, good.
HoneyTrap, good.
Honey Trap, good. Yeah.
And I'm really excited because Tate has a lot of other stuff in the Shadow Grove like world universe coming out, and I love these books. I love this style for her. And I love that we don't necessarily know, it's not, labeled. I think that was a really great choice and a really great move, and I hope, it allows other authors to feel like they can do that too, and be like, hey, I'm not going to label this book. This book could be a lot of things, can surprise us. I really enjoy that.
Well, I think it's great too, because it leaves it open to her. I don't know how her writing works, but a lot of authors I'm learning are like, they let the characters talk to them. So who knows what, it maybe it ends up as just an MF, maybe it ends up as a menage, maybe it ends up as an RH. Let's leave it open and find out. So like, she's not, making herself stick to one little thing either. But it's fun as like, as readers, you find an author and it's like, I always love her writing. It's always so well written. The editing is always amazing. And it's like, I know I'm going to be able to like just picture this movie in my head as I read. And so like, I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to go on a ride. It's going to be a crazy roller coaster, but it's going to be worth it, So it's like, it's fun. And I love that it's not just like, it's not categorized. It's just like, read my book. Okay, I will.
Because we trust Tate, like we trust her process. She's definitely earned that, I think, from the readers after like all these amazing books that she's just like, you ask so many authors, who's your favorite author? And you hear them say Tate James is always listed. So I'm just so excited for the next 2 books in this series and for everything else in the Shadow Grove world. What a ride.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm scared though. I'm so excited and I'm scared because she's going to take us on a journey, and the cliffhanger is going to be bad for book 2 because there won't be a cliffhanger for book 3. It'll be the end. So she's going to get us. She's going to get us good, but I'm here for it. I'm here.
I know. Watch it. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe like maybe
that might be the twist. That's the twist. The twist is it's not a cliffhanger.
I don't know. I just it's this cliffhanger wasn't that bad. To me, it wasn't bad. It was just like okay, what's gonna happen next?
I like this one. This was like very acceptable.
Yeah, it was an acceptable, like, oh wow, and I have to wait.
Yeah, it gave you the wow moment without like, I mean, and your heart broke a little bit, that there's 2 more books, so your heart doesn't hurt as much. Like, it was perfect. I think it was the perfect amount of trauma.
Yeah.
Or maybe I've just read too many Tate James books. I'm like, he didn't hurt me that this time.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see. How much longer?
Never reading too much Tate.
No, never could. Well, and that's the thing. So like, I was trying to think of a hair of the book for this one. And like, I was starting to think, and then like book suggestions too. And like, all of them were like Tate James books. And I'm like, Sarah. No, so like,
wrong with that.
I know. But so I went with my hair of the book. I just did what I honestly did. And then I just went on to the Deviant King, since that's like coming up on the show. So and that's another really good series that just gets you sucked in, but it's not like similar or anything, but it helped move on. Just move on from one good book to another one,
Well, I, recently had reread Madison Kate series, so I am going to go with the Tate James one. Well, it wasn't a reread, it was a re-listen, because the audibles are amazing and they were on sale recently, and I may have picked up, they were like $3.97 in America. So I picked up all of them, and it's duet narration, which we know that is my favorite. So I was doing a re-listen. Because it's been a while now. Madison Kate's been out for a while, and it's been a while since I read it, and it's a great revisit. So that's my hair of the book.
Yay.
Complete series.
It's a good one. It is a good one.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, we hope you enjoyed our chat about HoneyTrap and that it helps you get through the wait and towel dead drop and any of the other.
Yeah, very soon, couple weeks.
Yeah, just a little bit longer. Yeah. Yay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Bookover. Bye.